I don't know if this is going to sound really very strange to a lot of people. I had a beautiful childhood. Maybe because of our parents, they shielded us from all what's happening. Normal childhood. We went out, we went to trips, we were members in sort of a community club. We used to go swimming in this club in the summer from 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the evening. We had, it was like a family club, and we had friends, we had Christian friends, we had Muslim friends, and we used to go out on trips together, and everything was normal. We didn't... the first time I felt different was in 1967. I was 10.
So for the first 4 days, we really were kind of like it was a panic setting, you know, are they winning? Are they losing? And we knew that either way, we knew we're losers. I mean, you know, if Israel won, we'll be losers because they'll try and get the revenge on us. If Israel lost, we'll be losers because they'll come and say, you know, you are next after your brothers and Jewish brothers in Israel.
After the 67 war, they cut our telephones. We had no telephones, all the Jews. No membership at the clubs. We couldn't get anywhere. So between us, it was really a difficult time, very difficult time.
We arrived to the university and there were buses, there were people going, you know, when we have a feast or whatever, or henna, they go, whoa, 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 you know, of happiness. And they were giving out sweets to everybody, you know, like it's a very, very happy day. And I went into the girls' rooms and the girls were laughing and whatever, and they went to see the dead bodies, and they dragged my friend, my Christian friend, with them. I could see she didn't want to go, but she was very, very scared. She had to go. So they went, and when they came back, it was very, very scary. I couldn't imagine people from university can behave in such a savage way. They were really even imitating. Did you see this one, how his head was and whatever? So we went back home, and that was a black day.
Pesach of 1969, in the Chol HaMoed, which is the bit in the middle, in between the festivals, my father went to visit friends of his in their office. They were his clients as well, but they were friends. He did not work during the period. Anyway, on that day, we were at my grandmother's house, and the secretary came to my grandmother's house and wanted to see my mother, and she said to her, "I'm sorry to tell you, they came, we did not need to know who they were, they came for the boys and they took them." The interesting thing about my father's imprisonment was he never talked about it. There was a testimony of one of the prisoners who was with my father. His name was Saeed Hardoun.
They took me to prison, which is really not a prison. It's because the place they took us, it's not a prison belonging to government or to the army or any official body in the country. It belonged only to Saddam Hussein. We were 3 in this in this cell, 6 by 6 feet. We couldn't even sleep on our back. We used to sleep on our side because there is no space for 3 of us to sleep in this. Food was terrible. One time, a day early in the morning, they used to take us to the bathrooms. The bathroom was full of human dirt and they used to put us some bricks to walk on it because the dirt was so high that the food was once a day. They used to, 2 soldiers, they used to bring rice and soup in a baguette. The rice, they used to serve it by their hand, bare hands. The reason they took us, we don't know. The reason they let us go, also we don't know. It's just to complete the play. The innocent will go out and the criminal, they hang him.
So there was absolutely nothing to look for, but zero, except for running away. So we were expecting it, but you hope you never hear it. It's like a major operation. You just hope that it won't happen, but you know that it's in the offing. So one day he brought us back, and it was, I remember the day very well. I remember the room very well when he asked us to come in. And, you know, with a glum face, he said, we have 2 hours in this house and we will be gone.
We got to the north in the evening. It was pouring down with rain. And the taxi driver stops the car in this in the middle in this village, and he said, "Right, you're here." And, what do you mean we're here? It's dark. There's no light. There's nothing. You know, I don't know. I was told to give you here, to dump you here, to stop you getting out. Out of nowhere, out of the dark, this Peshmerga guy. Peshmerga are the Kurdish fighters. You know, heavily armed. And with a little, I think he had a torchlight. We could see something, you know, we could see, so still pouring down. And he said, "What are you guys doing here?" And we said, "Well, you know, we are Jews, we are trying to escape, and we're told that this is here, somebody will meet us and will take us across the border." He said, "There's nothing scheduled for tonight. You know, there's been no one coming through this way since September."
I just remember so clearly these moments that screams at me. I remember these guys when we stopped in checkpoints, and they would push this machine gun inside the for extra effect inside the car, and ask my father to get off the place. And my father would go out, and you can see him how anxious he is. And we're sitting in the car, and the film plays in my mind, on and on and on, until we reached the Kurdish enclave.
He went out and he came back and he said, we can cross using mules, but I can only command 3 mules. So my mother said, how do we do on 3 mules? There are 5 of us. So I said, look, we want to get out. We want to get across the border now. You 3 ladies go on the mules, so on the 3 mules, and Maurice and I will walk. And about half an hour into this, bullets start to fly around. So we went on the floor in the mud, all 5 of us, and the 2 Peshmerga guys as well. And then they said, look, he said, I said, are we forward? No, we're going back.
We had a very rough ride, because instead of being 9 people journey, we were now 22 in the same car. It's the same sort of pickup car for like a cattle we would pack there. And And that was very, again, I remember the thoughts in my mind saying, I want to be back, I want to go home, I want to go home. I can't take that. I cannot take any more of this. I cannot look in the valley, and it's the valley of death. We were 20 people in the car, 22 people. We were packed one on top of the other. There was no lights. The cars had to drive completely in darkness. The valley is down there. No barriers, no nothing. You could see the odd lorry down in there. And I cannot take any more of this. And I was so angry for being put into that position. Eventually we made it.
Well, this is the third night now. We are in this house. A jeep came in, and we all huddled in, all five of us. And the guy who was driving couldn't speak a word of Arabic. And we thanked the senior guy. You know, we thanked him for his hospitality and all that. And he said, you know, he wished us luck. And he said, don't forget us when you go out into the big wide world. And you know, we drove for about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half, something like that. And you know, we got to this place where there was a little border, you know, a little barrier, and the guy got out, lifted the barrier and drove through, and took us to the first village in Iran.
We had gone to the north of Iraq, as I was saying. We used to spend our summers there. And one day, we got a knock on the door. And it was the security service. They suggested we ought to pack up all our things and go with them, which we did. So we were taken in a van, as they put it, down to Erbil, to the police station. So when we arrived there, who should we see? Oh, so many Iraqi people, Jews, I should say. So many Jews, friends of the family. They were all taken, they were trying to escape. Really and truly, we were the only family that were not trying to escape. But that doesn't matter. The next day, we were all driven in vans, whoever was in Erbil, in the police station, to Baghdad. And we were put in the hall of the Baha'is. So we were 136 people in this particular hall. Where we spent 17 days, and we were finally released on the eve of Rosh Hashanah of 1970.
My father and my husband went to prison for 15 days as well, for no fault of their own. When we got our passports, my husband and my father went to take them. The officer in the passport office wanted some tips from them. But because my father always was a civil servant, he thought to give a big sum, it might be considered as a bribe. So he told my husband, you give 5, I will give 3 dinars. So, you know, it won't consider as a bribe. Apparently, that officer was charging each Jewish person who got their passport about 30 to 50 dinars. The other, you know, policemen in the passport office wanted to share with him his intakes. He said, what did I take? Only 3 dinars from Yusuf Khazoum and 5 dinars from Harun Khalaschi. So they took them in prison straight away.
We got our passports. I recall that we had to go to a place again to do with the Secret Service. We had to present ourselves, even us children. And somebody asked my mother what her father's name, and she was so frightened. She had to ask my father what her father's name was. She was so frightened she couldn't recall his name. Anyhow, we were given a passport, and we were told, as I think the case had happened with all the Jews that left at that time with a passport, if you do not come back within 3 months, we will confiscate all your assets. We flew to Beirut, just could not wait. But my mother did cry as the plane went round and there was like a little mound and the airport disappeared from sight. And she said, that is it. We have said goodbye to our country of our birth forever.